This conference will now be recorded.
Hello.
యా శ్రీనాథ్. ప్రాజెక్ట్స్ అనేవి పెట్టాల్సిన
Sorry.
అవసరం లేదండి. జస్ట్ ఏంటంటే సో మీకు సిపిఏ టెంప్లెట్ ఇచ్చినప్పుడు సో మీకేంటంటే
Mm.
దట్ కంటైన్స్ ద టెక్నికల్ స్కిల్స్, రైట్? వాట్ ఆర్ ఆల్ ద టెక్నికల్ స్కిల్స్ యూ హ్యావ్? సో యూ హ్యావ్ వర్క్డ్ ఆన్
Ah.
these adapters, you have worked on, I mean, like, I know how to work with the content temperature, the request reply, and the different types of events. So these are the adapters I have worked on. So like that, our details పెట్టండి కానీ so don't mention any of the projects.
Ah.
So
Okay, sir.
because they can miss it.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
So if you had a career gap, so if you wanted to fill that career gap with the fake experience, then you have to fill some projects.
Okay, sir.
Yeah. So just
Okay.
technical
Thank you.
skills ni mention cheyandi. So now right now many freshers are hiring for the SAP CPA.
Ah. Okay, sir.
Yeah. Because
Okay.
once you
Thank you.
go into the industry, so they will train you on their requirements. Like if they had some IDOC, or if they had some different types of integrations, so they will train you on a for some of the, I mean, like 45 to 2 months. Then they will place in the support project, or they will assign the small integrations for the freshers. So based on that, we can increase your knowledge.
Ah. Okay. Okay. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, no problem. Okay, let's start the today's session. And Vamsi, I hope you don't have any queries.
చంద్ర, ఈ అంటే ఇప్పుడు నాకు రెజ్యూమ్ అంటే నాది కొంచెం ఇయర్ లాగ్ ఉంది నాది. సో
1 year
ఎక్స్పీరియన్స్
అంటే ఎంత?
పెడదామని.
ఎన్ని ఇయర్స్ అండి?
అంటే నేను పాస్డ్ అవుట్ చాలా సంవత్సరాలు అవుతుంది, ఒక 2 years అవుతుంది పాస్ అయ్యి.
ఓకే. అంటే మీకు ఐ మీన్ లైక్ గ్యాప్ విల్ బి, అంటే మీరు వేరే టూల్స్ ఏమైనా నేర్చుకున్నారు? ఎక్కడైనా వర్క్ చేసారా వంశీ?
జస్ట్ సమ్ చిన్న చిన్న బీపీఎస్ లో వర్క్ చేశాను చంద్ర.
ఓకే. దానికి వర్క్ ఎక్స్పీరియన్స్ ఉందా మీకు? లేకపోతే
లేదు
ఎక్కకుండా
లేదు
ఇచ్చేసారా?
లేదు చంద్ర, లేదు చంద్ర.
అసలు దాని మీద వర్క్ ఎక్స్పీరియన్సే లేదండి. అంటే ఎక్స్పీరియన్స్ యూ హావెంట్ రిసీవ్డ్, రైట్?
ఎస్ ఎస్.
మరి పిఎఫ్ ఉంటది కదండి.
లేదు చంద్ర,
ఓకే. పిఎఫ్
అది
కూడా లేదు.
మెయింటైన్
ఓకే.
చేయలేదు. మెయింటైన్ చేయలేదు అది.
ఓకే. ఓకే. దెన్ మీరు డైరెక్ట్ గా ఇది తీసుకోవచ్చండి. ఇంకా ఐ మీన్ లైక్ ఫేక్ 2 years ఫేక్ ఎక్స్పీరియన్స్ పెట్టుకొని, సో బేస్డ్ ఆన్ దట్ యూ కెన్ మెన్షన్ వన్ సపోర్ట్ ప్రాజెక్ట్ అండ్ వన్ ఇంప్లిమెంటేషన్ ప్రాజెక్ట్.
Okay. అంటే ప్రాజెక్ట్ ఎలిమెంట్ ఎలా చేయాలి అది ఏమన్నా?
అంటే ప్రాజెక్ట్ ఎలా చేయాలన్నది, ఓకే, లెట్ మీ షేర్. ఓకే, విల్ కంప్లీట్ ద 2 topics, దెన్ వీ కెన్ డిస్కస్ ఆన్ ఇట్, రైట్? హౌ టు ప్రిపేర్ ద రెజ్యూమ్ అండ్ వాట్ ఈస్ ద ప్రాజెక్ట్ ల్యాండ్స్కేప్ అన్నది. వన్స్ ఈ 2 topics కంప్లీట్ అయిన తర్వాత వీ కెన్ డిస్కస్ అండి. ఓకేనా? సో
ఓకే
కంప్లీట్ అందరికి
అంటే
ఒక ఐడియా వచ్చేది.
అంటే అంతకు ముందు అన్నారు కదా లాస్ట్ 2 sections అచ్చంగా ఇవే చెప్తానన్న లేక నేను అడగలేదు చంద్ర, అందుకనే ఇప్పుడు అడిగాను.
యా 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 వంశీ, నేను ఈ రోజు ఐ మీన్ లైక్ ఇఫ్ ఇట్ ఈస్ అండ్ టేకింగ్ 1.5 hour ఆర్ 2 hours, ఐ విల్ కంటిన్యూ దస్. ఓకేనా?
ఓకే ఓకే చంద్ర.
యా. అసలు యాక్చువల్గా ఈ రోజు లాస్ట్ సెషన్ అనుకున్నాను. నిన్నేమో రైన్ వల్ల మాకు నెట్వర్క్ లేదు. సో దట్స్ వాట్ వీ క్యాన్సిల్ ద సెషన్ ఎస్టర్డే. సో సీ హియర్, లెట్ మీ. So today we'll discuss about the content enricher first, then we can discuss project landscape and how to prepare a resume based on our experience. Okay. So see here, this is posted. So content enricher example. So before going to that, so what does mean by content enricher means? So content enricher is used for. So for example, see, from the sender, I am getting some product information. Got it? Some product information I am getting from the sender, but in that some fields are missing. So like from sender some fields are missing, but a target system requires the missing fields. For example, I'm getting product number and product name and all things I'm getting from the sender. So but the target requires along with the dimensions of the product also. Dimensions means I mean long description, short short description, and all they require at the target side. So now we have to send a sender information, and we have to add additional information to that payload. So got it? So that means let me explain you one thing. Just a second. So that means once we got so మనకి సెండర్ నుంచి ఏదైనా ఇన్ఫర్మేషన్ వస్తే దానికి ఎడిషనల్ ఇన్ఫర్మేషన్ ని యాడ్ చేసి by using content enricher option, so we can send that data to the target. So in that we have a two options. So that is like the first one is a enrich, and the second one is a combine. So give me a second. Let me downloading that flow. Hi Arun.
Hi, Chandra.
Yeah, just we
Chandra.
started.
Okay.
Yeah, just we started regarding the content enricher.
Okay.
Yeah. Give me a second. I'm downloading some resources. Yeah. So are you able to see my screen, right? So now see it is loading. So see, I already configured that content enricher configuration in other integration flow. Let me import that integration flow to my package. So here this is integration flow. So here I'm not creating that, I'm uploading that integration flow. So here you can select the browse option. So here OData content enricher option. So let me deploy. So first, what is the use of this content enricher? So the content enricher is available in a external calls. So see, we have a calls option in a palette options, right? So in that we have a external calls. So in that external calls, you can do this configuration. So see here. So see in the calls we have a external call. So in that external calls we have a content enricher. So content enricher. So by using this content enricher, you can connect with, I mean like you can connect with this third party system. So see here, the from the sender, I am getting this product information. So see whatever OData service we previously used, the same OData service I am using here. So see, this is the product information. This product information contains, see, this products and product details and a category, weight units, product id, dimension unit, and dimension, height, weight, name. So these are the information we have. So but the from the sender the we are not getting the long description and short description of these products. Long description and short description of these products. So see here. So here, by using content enricher, you can connect with the third party system. So see here, the third party system is here receiver. So I am connecting with this content enricher. I am connecting with this content enricher with this OData service. So see, with this OData service. So let me copy this and point here, then we can start configuring it. Okay. Uh, So see here, and also the content enricher contains two algorithms. The first one is enrich and second one is a combine. So combine means whatever the source message we are getting and whatever the data we are getting from this OData service, it will just concatenate the data. It will just concatenate the data. So that means it will the first XML and second XML it will combine. That's all. So but coming to the enrich, whatever the field we are specifying here, so this is from the sender message. Original message means that message is coming from the sender. The lookup message is called as it that data we are lookup message means that data we are getting from this receiver by using content enricher. So here I am getting this products information. Here also I am getting product information. So whatever the lookup message I am getting, that will be read by using this key element product ID. So now see, let's configure this OData service. Whatever we configured previously, the same configuration we will do. So see, so actually this receiver will connect with the content enricher. So I already copied that endpoint URL, right? So based on that, I will configure it. So see here in the connection tab, so I will provide this endpoint URL. So see, this is the our OData service endpoint URL. So remaining all are same. Now I'm so why the connector is not showing here? What happened? Just give me a second. So the OData and V2. Let me select again OData and yes, now it is showing. So let me place the endpoint URL. I am not using the CSRF production here. The product authentication is not required here, and we have to select the path, resource path. So in this resource path, what is the required information we have to read? So here we have to read the what is the main like a long description and short description. What is the entity name here? Products. And in that products, we have to read a product ID is a primary key, right? That is a that should require, and this is the long description and this is the short description. Remaining all fields we already had it. So here next one, so where we will get the product ID actually. So from the product ID we will give filter by product ID. So see, this is the product ID information. Let me make, or else you can also browse the product ID. So this is the product ID. So from the sender I am getting one header, that is header dot id, header dot id. So just click on finish. So now see, based on this header ID, so see, based on whatever the ID we are getting from the sender, that ID long description and short description and then product ID will be get from this content enricher option. So see here, we have in this content modifier, we created this header. So see, this is the header we are getting. So this is the header name ID and this is the source value and this is the body of the message. This is the body of the message. So it doesn't contain a short description and a long description. See, so now see, the original message also contains the same structure. So that is the reason. So the path to node I maintain the products slash product, and then path to node also in the lookup message whatever we are getting from the third party service also I place the product slash product, and the key element also product ID. So first let me deploy this, and then we can see the output, then you will get a clear idea. So here you have to think what is the difference between content enricher and request reply also.
Indra,
So what
here the
request reply do?
OData URL where you have placed, I mean, from where you got that public OData service.
Here public OData service from the SAP documentation.
Okay.
I already shown you right that day while I am explaining. So you can go to the help
Okay.
portal. So that time I shown you right,
Okay.
if you remember. Yeah, from there I got that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So see, let me go to the monitoring trace and enable trace for this. So see, already one message got successful because this is timer, right? So it is successful. So let me enable trace and we can deploy this. So based on that, you will get a clear idea how it is executing. Okay. So it is enable trace and let me deploy this now. So this is timer based. So I selected a run once option. So see here. So run once option. So now you can see. Let me so go for a message monitor. So see the second one we had a, I mean latest one we had a trace option. So see here. So actually see what is the data we are giving input to the content modifier. First we see the what is the data we are giving input to the content modifier. So see we have to check for the second one. So see it doesn't contain any of the short description and then long description, right? So see there is no short description and then long description. So see after content modifier execution, the next step is a end message for us. End message. If I check for this end message configuration, see you will get along with the short and long description. So see where we provided that XPath element here. So if you observe, so see this is the product ID, right? Key element we placed at after this product ID. So see here this is the product ID, right? So after this key element, it is added whatever the data we are getting from the third party service, from the OData service. So see here the data the product, and then long description. So this is the long description of the service and product ID, and then short description of the service, short description of this product. So see like this. So if you want, you can concatenate the data. I mean like you can enrich the data based on this algorithm. So that means, so here what is the difference between content enricher and the request reply? So anyone can explain the differences. So content enricher, what it will do? So it is taking the sender payload and adding the response from the third party payload, third party system. So that means ఇక్కడ sender payload and the lookup message whatever we are getting from the third party service, it is enriching or combining, and both data, the sender data and then third party service response lookup message will combine and send it to the target. But coming to the request reply, so just whatever the data we are getting from the sender, it will post to this third party service. Request reply will post to the third party service, and whatever the response we are getting from the third party service, that only that response will send to the target system, only that response from the target system. So for example, if I use, so think this question and answer, I will expect answer from your end. So here if I use a request reply here, what will be the output to the end message? If I use request reply here, what will be the output to the end message? The OData configurations are same. Instead of content enricher, I use a request reply. What is the output of this? So again, I am saying whatever the data we are, again I am explaining the differences from the request reply and then content enricher. Then you can answer. Okay, the request reply, whatever the request data we are getting from the sender, that will post to this OData service. The request reply will send to the target system only the response from the third party service, only the response from the third party service. But coming to the content enricher, it will enrich the data from the sender system. It will keep the sender information, and it will add the OData service response to the sender payload, and it will send both request payload and then third party payload, and it will enrich and it is sending to the target system. So now what is the response? What will be the target message if I use a request reply? Anyone?
Only from that long description, short description, that the data can be sent in case of
Yes, right. So yeah, if I
request.
use a request reply, only this information, the product, long description, product ID, short description, and product. So these are the four fields. Four fields will be sent to the target system. So clear? Any queries from anyone? So because this is a rarely asking question in interviews. So what is the difference between a content enricher and then request reply? So any queries from anyone on this? So if not, we can go with the combine option. So see, we have also combine. So for combine, there is no options here. So there is no options. Just it will combine the source and response message, lookup message. So let me save and deploy this.
చెప్తేనే తీసుకొస్తా.
Sorry. Okay, it's not for me actually. So see, just we combining message, right? So let's see, this is already processed at 8:34. So let me check the trace for this message. So see here. So previously the message was added based on the key element. But now if you see, we using combine option, right? That combine will add whatever the response we are getting from the target. That combine we are getting at the target set. So okay, why we are getting these many products means I hope I selected a greater than or something else in the okay. So previously it is came based on the other ID. So here lesser than or equal. So here we have to select equal actually. So that is the reason whatever the data I'm getting from the lesser than HT-1080, all product information we got actually. So see here all product items. So let me deploy this again. So now we will get only one element. So because whenever it is equal, then only it will take the data from the OData service. It is now simple and pretty to understand. So see here, this is the root tag. So this is the data. So this is from the products. So this is the data we are getting from the source system up to the products. Up to the products, we are getting data from the sender system. So see here, multi-mapping. So by using this content enricher is automatically adding this multi-map tag here. So this is multi-map message one. After that, this is a closing of multi-map message one. So that means the sender data is from this tag to this tag. The second message, whatever we have, that is a multi-map message to the products, and then product, long description, product ID, short description, and products closed. So this is the message mapping end. So finally the message tag is whatever the message tag we opened here, that was closed here. So clear? So this is about the combine and then enrich algorithms used in content enricher.
Yeah, Chandra.
Any
Yeah,
yeah,
in
okay.
real time, what would be the case like this when we'll have to use? I mean, is it when we will have to use this kind of situation?
Yeah, see here, here also we have the business requirement actually. So see here, we are getting the product information from the source system. So see here, we do only, so the one of the sender system is sending this products information. So but here the target system requires along with the long description and then short description. Got it? Along with
Yeah.
that short description and then long description, the target system requires along with the long description and short description. That long description and then short description is available in some third party service. Got it? Not only
Okay.
OData, you can connect with the HTTPS, you can connect with the SOAP. So different types of protocols it is supporting the content enricher.
Okay.
So
Okay.
that time you can connect with the third party service and you can enrich or combine with the source data. So that means sender only product information పంపిస్తున్నాడండి, దాంట్లో లాంగ్ డిస్క్రిప్షన్ షార్ట్ డిస్క్రిప్షన్ మిస్ అయింది, కానీ టార్గెట్ కి అలాంగ్ విత్ లాంగ్ డిస్క్రిప్షన్ షార్ట్ డిస్క్రిప్షన్ కావాలి. సో థర్డ్ సెండర్ ఏమంటాడు, నేను అది సెండ్ చేయలేను, మీరు ఈ సర్వీస్ నుంచి గెట్ చేసుకుని టార్గెట్ పంపించుకోండి అంటాడు. సో అప్పుడు ఏంటంటే దెన్ వీ కెన్ కనెక్ట్ విత్ ద థర్డ్ పార్టీ సర్వీస్ బై యూజింగ్ కంటెంట్ ఎన్రిచర్, అండ్ వీ విల్ enrich the data from the sender payload and then response from the third party payload in the integration flow, and the combination of the lookup message and then original message. Original message is from sender, lookup message is from coming from the OData service what we configure. So original message is sender message. The lookup message is whatever we are getting from the third party service. So this both will combine or enrich. After that, it will send it to the target. So actually, in PI also we have this concept, but this is available in the message mapping. So in the message mapping, we have a lookups concept. So we have a RFC lookup, SOAP lookup, and then JDBC lookup. We have a different types of lookups. So there we will provide that required field information to that RFC lookup. So based on that, it will connect with the target service. I mean, like we will create a separate channel for that lookup. So based on that, it will connect with that lookup service and it will get the response and it will send it to the required target fields. So whatever the lookup configuration we have in a SAP PI message mapping, the same concept is introduced in a CPI by using content enricher option. So here the work will be very reduced here, because in the RFC lookup we have to import that RFC and we have to select that request parameters and what is the response, and we have to create a parameters and we have to create a channel for it. So everything is minimized here. Just we will connect with that OData service and we will configure that OData service whatever the fields we require, and we will get it, and we will just provide the source message path and then target message path and then a key element. So based on that, we can configure it. Clear, Anu?
Uh, Hello, Chandra.
Yes, yes.
Chandra.
Yeah, hello. Any queries from anyone on this
Chandra, can you
content
hear
and
me?
reach? Yeah, yeah, yes. I can able to hear you, but
Okay.
voice is very low.
Okay. What is the main difference between combine and enrich?
Yeah, combine. See, I clearly shown right. So here you can see combine is combining the message after the first message. So see here, this is the message from the source. So let me show you that. So what is the sender message for in our requirement? So this is the product, is the sender information, sender data. But the target, so after connecting with that service, we are getting response this message. So see here, products and then products.
Okay.
So this is the data we are getting from the third party service. So see, combine means it will just combine the message by using this multi mapping tags. So see here, just it will combine after this. So after this, so see it will combine after this. So see here, multi mapping one and the product. So for differentiating this message and this message, they are using message one and this is the message two. If I have multiple, this is message three, message four, like that it will show. But coming to the lookup message, so like whatever we have, I mean enrich message. సో ఎక్కడైతే మన ఫీల్డ్ స్పెసిఫై చేస్తామో ఆ ఫీల్డ్ ఎగ్జాక్ట్ వాల్యూ దగ్గర ఇట్ విల్ కంబైన్ ద మెసేజ్ అండి. సో ఇఫ్ యూ సీ ఎన్రిచ్ అంటే ఏంటంటే, సో సీ హియర్ ద ప్రొడక్ట్ ఐడి దగ్గర కీ ఎలిమెంట్ మన ప్రొడక్ట్ ఐడి అని చెప్పి మెయింటైన్ చేసామండి. సో ఎగ్జాక్ట్ గా ప్రొడక్ట్ ఐడి ఎక్కడైతే వచ్చిందో దిస్ ప్రొడక్ట్స్ ఇన్ఫర్మేషన్ విల్ బి ఎన్రిచ్డ్ హియర్. సో క్లియర్. సో ప్రీవియస్ మెసేజ్ ఎలా ఇచ్చిందండి, సో దట్ వాస్ కంబైన్డ్, జస్ట్ ఫస్ట్ మెసేజ్ అండ్ సెకండ్ మెసేజ్ కంబైన్డ్. So but here in this case the two data, I mean like whatever the products we have sender message, it will add based on the key element from the sender system నుంచి it will enrich the message. So see మీకు ఇదంతా ఒకటే పేలోడ్ లాగా ఉంటుంది కానీ డిఫరెన్స్ ఏం లేదండి. బట్ కమింగ్ టు ద I mean combine message, so it will separate the message based on the multi mapping, so multi map messages.
Okay.
Clear, Rajesh?
Chandra, yeah, that's clear. One doubt, like if you want to get the response, is it mandatory to use the request reply, or else, because in case of HTTP, we, even though we are not using any receiver, we are getting the response back, right? So I have one doubt regarding that.
Yeah. Okay, can you please ask again? I'm not getting your question.
To get the response back, is it mandatory to use the request reply palette?
Yeah, request reply we can, yes sir. Yes Arun, that is a separate case actually. So see here, so you are saying like anyway HTTPS response back to the sender
Ah,
system kada, why we are using
yes,
request reply, that's all right.
correct, correct.
So here, if I wanted to make some transformation logic for a response message of HTTPS,
Okay.
so what will happen? So if I connect with the receiver, so ఇక్కడ నేను డైరెక్ట్ గా HTTPS తో receiver తో connect అయితే, so
Mm-hmm.
that response immediately sent to the sender system. We cannot apply the transformation logics to the response system. I mean like target. If I
Mm-hmm.
connect with the from the end message to receiver connect అయితే మనకి response కి transformation logic apply చేయలేమండి. So if I use a request reply here, so this request reply message will not sending to the target, right? So now you can make some transformation logics after the request reply. So for example, I would like to convert to the XML to JSON. So see here, we can use XML to JSON option here. So based on that, it will convert the, I mean like whatever the data we are getting from the content enricher, it will convert to the JSON format, and the JSON format will send to the target system. So see here, when you have a requirement to, I mean like I have to apply some transformation logics to the response, then you can use this option.
In case of response message, you require transformation, then only we'll have to use request reply, right? That is
Yes,
what you
yes,
are
right.
saying.
Yes, yes, right.
Otherwise, not
Otherwise
required.
also, so see here,
Ah,
in some
mm,
of the cases, we have to connect with the third party service based on the previous calls. So for
ah,
example, first we have to get a product ID from the one of the service. So after that product ID, we have to check the order is shipped or not. So first we have to get
mhm.
the product ID information. After that we have to get a some shipping status. So that time we have to connect two services from one integration flow. Got it? So
Okay.
for example, see in the same scenario, we can see here. Um, Here you can see this is the first service, for example. So the sender will send the product ID. The product ID, this request reply. For example, I had a request reply here. So request reply. So this request reply, what it will do is based on the product ID, it will connect with the third party service and it will give some shipment number. So got it? Shipment number.
Yeah.
So based on the shipment number, we are getting the shipment number from this service. So for tracking the shipment, we have other service. So now what we have to do is you can use other external call and then request reply here. And based on this request reply output, that shipping ID, you can connect with the other service here. So see, this is one of the receiver. So whatever the shipping ID we are getting from the source, I mean like this request reply, that shipping ID you can connect with this receiver too. So based on that, this receiver too will give the shipping information to the sender system. Got it? If not, what you have to do is you have to implement two integration flows for this requirement if you don't have the request reply. So first we have to we have to get this shipping ID, and we have to store the shipping ID or somewhere, and we have to access the shipping ID into the other integration flow. Clear, Arun? Hello? Hello, are you able to hear me?
Yes, Chandra, you're audible.
Okay, okay, Arun left. Okay, okay. Maybe some
Uh,
internet issue.
Chandra, for content enricher, you have connected with the receiver OData, right?
Yes, receiver OData.
So that is S4 system, you mean receiver?
Receiver S4, yes, sir. The OData service mostly from S4. I mean, like SAP applications only, I guess.
Okay.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah, like uh, like it is S4 only, right?
Yeah, that is S4 or else ECC, that is S4 HANA Cloud, on-premise, whatever it is. So this service from SAP only. So that is from the service. Let me cancel it. Then I will get the URL. Yeah, see here. This is a SAP application only. So eShop.
Okay.
So this is a, I mean, a reference app from the eShop actually. So that is given by SAP itself. So see here, hana.ondemand.com. So this is from
Okay.
SAP only.
Okay. Chandra, if for example, if we are using S4 system at sender system, if the message is coming from S4 HANA to CPI, where do we configure endpoint in S4 system?
S4 system will be configured by base system actually. So for example, see that contains the some gateway from SAP ECC or SAP S4 HANA. So there they will configure this endpoint. So from that endpoint, so they will trigger messages to the CPI. So that means we have to provide our, for example, if they are connecting with the SOAP service, we have to provide our SOAP WSDL or then SOAP endpoint to our endpoint URL to them. If they are connecting with HTTP, we have to provide that HTTP endpoint URL to them. They will configure from there. If it is OData, we will provide the OData endpoint URL. They will configure the OData endpoint URL their end. So that is a gateway. That is something like the T code GW something, GW57 like that. So that is not from CPA developer side. So that will all taking care by I mean ABAPers only. That means who are triggering the data to the OData service. So you can provide the endpoint URL to when they will configure from there end.
Okay. But in interviews, why they are asking for us, Chandra? Like,
So that is rare requirement. And so some projects why they are asking means yes, uh, so they want to think like if the person is not available from the ABAP side also, you have to handle that situation also. So that is the reason they are checking that knowledge also. So but rare
okay.
cases we will not configure any of the configurations in a S4 HANA system. Just we can check the IDOC statuses and checking the RFC destination connection and everything. We can just test the connectivity is good or not. Even we have a access, so then we cannot create, I mean we will not create any of the objects there.
Okay.
Chandra, hello.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, my doubt was like, a receiver when will come into picture? That was like, is it mandatory for every time we need to connect for the receiver? Actually, for HTTP, we are not using any receiver. We are directly pushing and we're getting response back, right?
Yeah,
So
right.
when it is actually receiver is required to place.
When is actually receiver is required at place means uh, so
We
that
place
means
the
here,
receiver. What
yeah.
happens if we don't place the receiver? What happens? That is what I want to
So
know.
you see here, if I use a HTTP sender from the sender system, so and this is the end message. So if it is in a sender application, I mean like whatever the sender application is supported for synchronous, whatever the message we are sending to the end message, this same message will send as a response.
Okay.
Even you are connecting with the receiver also, even you are connecting with the receiver also, the whatever
Mhm.
the last message transferred in CPA, that message will be triggered as a response to the sender system.
Okay.
So even we have a receiver, for example, a configured mail or else something other third party adapter. So even it is in a third part, I mean like it is a connected and placed the data at the target set successfully also. So that I mean, like that will also whatever the end message received the message, that will be send a response to the sender back when you are using HTTPS and the SOAP two-way communication and then HTTPS. For example, it is an SFTP server. For example, sender is SFTP, so it is a receiver is mail. So you cannot store the response back to the sender system. So because SFTP
Okay.
doesn't support asynchronous, yeah.
In that case, we needed receiver for sure.
Yes, for sure. For sure, it we require a receiver, or else we can suppress the message in PI also. Without a receiver also, you can suppress the message until the end message.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
If you want to deliver the message to the receiver, then we need it. If not,
Yes,
we
we
no
can
need to
also see
configure.
sometimes see we are just connecting with this OData services and getting
Mm-hmm.
responses. So that time we don't require receiver from the end message. We already have a receiver in request reply.
Okay.
So that time we don't require receiver, right? They just after end message it terminate the process. That's all.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah. So the last concept we have a JDBC actually. So the JDBC contains like what is the use of this JDBC adapter first of all. If I wanted to connect with any of the database, so it might be uh, like SQL, it might be MySQL from Microsoft, it might be DB2 from IBM, whatever it is. And also S4 HANA also providing some data services. I mean like a JDBC services, some tables. So you can also connect with the tables also. So what are all the prerequisites? Actually, I don't have a real-time system for this JDBC. So I will explain what are all the configurations we require. So first, when we have a JDBC, Java Database Connectivity. So this full form is Java Database Connectivity. So here we require the main thing is server access of the JDBC and JDBC drivers. So JDBC drivers. So what is the JDBC drivers first of all? So JDBC drivers is used for to connect with the JDBC service. So here we are connecting through the XML structure. So got it? We are connecting with the, so whatever the data we are getting from the CPA to JDBC, we are sending in XML structure. But the JDBC can understand in a I mean like a table format. So that driver, so every database contains the drivers. For example, if you are using SQL, that SQL server itself will provide the JDBC drivers. So that means driver means it will drive the data from one format to the other format. For example, see, you are connecting from CPA. CPA is sending data from XML format. So then the driver will convert to the table format. So that means the driver will convert from the XML format to the table format. That is the reason we are using this driver. So now see here. So we have a JDBC drivers option here. So JDBC material we have in a this is JDBC material. So in this JDBC material, you have to add that JDBC, drivers here. So if it is a data source means, so here you can see JDBC data source and JDBC driver. The data source means if you had any data source from a S4 HANA. So see platform, HANA on-premise system, HANA cloud and SAP ASC platform, and this SQL server, and then this SQL server on cloud. So that will, you can use the data sources. So these are running in a cloud. So but we also have on-premise system. So here you have to upload your JDBC driver here. So that you can download from SQL official website and you can download here. You can upload here. So if it is in a data source, you have to just provide the URL and username password. So here URL of the data source and then username password and then JDBC URL. So based on that, it will connect with the target system. So clear. So once it is uploaded, we have to provide this necessary information like a data source alias name and then connection timeout and then a response timeout and then minimum records, how many records we have to place, and then batch mode. So if it is required to connect like a batch mode, if I want to process batch processing, then you can use a batch processing here. The batch operations is automatic and non-automatic. We have two options. So based on that, so we can connect with the data sources and we can we can connect with the JDBC. So for that we require a first if it is in a data source, we need a JDBC URL and then username password. And also for drivers, we have to import the driver from the official website and we have to upload in a JDBC drivers option in a JDBC material.
Yeah, batch means
So
like a few. We need to give some certain number how many messages we want per single attempt.
yes, yes, right. Batch processing. Batch processing means at a time I am getting 100 messages updating or something like that. So instead of
Okay.
processing one by one, it will process by batch mode, like 100 messages at a
Okay.
time, 200 messages at a time, like that.
Okay. Until it gets 100 message, it will wait in CPI. Then only it will process. Huh?
Yes, yes, right.
Okay.
So the real-time system is not available for JDBC. So previously I have that MySQL online server. So that's what I mentioned in the course description. Anyway, for understanding purpose, I clearly given this overview, like what is JDBC drivers and how we can connect with it. So you might get access like here access policies, right? So we haven't gone with these access policies. Actually, the use of this access policies means, for example, one client is working for many integrations. So for example, you are working for Deloitte, I am working for Infosys. So we both like Infosys employee and Deloitte employee is working for only one client, that is for example Walmart client. So that means they are implementing some integrations, and Deloitte team is implementing some integrations, and Infosys team is implementing some integrations. So Deloitte person doesn't have access to edit integration flows created by Infosys guys, and the Infosys team members doesn't have access for the Deloitte created integration. So that we can maintain by using these access policies. So just you can click on plus here, and you can give the role name here. So just iFlow edit. iFlow underscore edit. Just I'm creating this role name here. So after that we have to create entry here. So see, we have a name like iFlow edit. See here, we have a different types, right? Artifact type, we have message mapping, REST APIs, and value mappings, and a global, data store, and then global variables. These are. So see here, this is for example, I'm selecting integration flow, and the equals means we have to give the exact name of the integration flow. So for example, let me give the if underscore data, right? Let me
Chandra,
give
here
this data.
in artifact types, we have mostly used integration flow only,
iFlow,
no?
iFlow. Yes, iFlow, mostly used iFlow. So I will also explain that what is the difference between different APIs, REST APIs, and all. So mostly we will use iFlow only. We already covered value mapping, and then message mapping also same. So I will explain what is script collection and message mapping. So that was missed actually. So I will explain that one also, no issue. So see here, now you can see value mapping if underscore odata underscore ce, that is equals. So next create, let me create this one. So see, I created this one, right? So now I am unable to access this. So for example, see, if I go to the class 10, so I will definitely get one error. So here you can see OData content enricher, right? So here, if I download this, so see, you are not authorized to download the artifact due to access policy. For example, if I go for other integration flow, for example, if I download this Groovy script one, a Groovy test one, it will definitely download. There is no issue here. So see, now it will download automatically. So see, it is download. So like that, you can restrict by using this access policies. So clear? By using this, you can create this access policies. So now let's go with these options. So see here, we have a REST API, SOAP API, and OData API. So there is no difference of creating, we have a difference, one difference we can say. So this is integration flow, right? This is REST API, SOAP API, and OData API. If I select REST API, the type of the message, so for example, see if underscore REST underscore API. So just the integration flow, it instead of saying this type is integration flow, it will come as a REST API. See here. And also what are all the messages processed for this REST API that you can monitor separately. So for example, if I wanted to select only that REST API, so for example, see all REST APIs. So see all REST APIs. So you can select it, and you can filter that message. So if I go for this integration flow, just the configuration is different, they will connect with the HTTPS adapter at the center side, that's all. So see HTTPS sender adapter, and this just a handle request, that's all. And this is the local integration process. If not required, you can delete this and you can maintain this. So see in the HTTPS receiver also we have to maintain the same things. So see that you have to specify the REST API endpoint URL and then conditions. Same thing, whatever we configured previously, that is same, but the monitoring part will be, you can say like there's a REST APIs, and if I create a SOAP API, you can select for all SOAP APIs. So see all SOAP APIs. If it is an OData, then you can select a OData APIs. The monitoring part will be the different from the each and individual artifact here. The monitoring part will be the different for each and individual. So, but
Chandra,
coming to the script,
in real
yeah,
time project, do we go for those options? Like, do we really use those?
yeah, mostly no only. So these are the latest features actually from the last 3 months or 4 months. We are getting these APIs and all. But coming to the see here, we also have a message mapping here, right? So what is this message mapping? And also we are creating internal message mapping. What is the difference between this message mapping and then internal message mapping? So here, this message mappings. So you can use this one. So see here, I am creating this message mapping if underscore test. This is message mapping, right? Underscore test. So see here, this is like a message mapping artifact. So see, this is for only for message mapping. So you can create this message mapping here, and you can refer this message mapping into the multiple integration flows. So for example, నాకు ఒకే మ్యాపింగ్ ని మల్టిపుల్ ఇంటిగ్రేషన్ ఫ్లోస్ లో యూజ్ చేయాలండి. ఒకటే మ్యాపింగ్ ని నేను మల్టిపుల్ ఇంటిగ్రేషన్ ఫ్లోస్ లో యూజ్ చేయాలి. సో అప్పుడు ఏంటంటే when I'm using like that, what will happen is so I have to download, I mean సేమ్ ఇంటిగ్రేషన్ ఫ్లో నుంచి నేను ఇంటిగ్రేషన్ ఫ్లో వేరే దాంట్లోకి నేను అప్లోడ్ చేసుకోవాల్సి వస్తుంది. సో అలా కాకుండా సో యూ కెన్ యూజ్ ది సేమ్. So see, this is the invoice payload, right? So now let me copy this one also, and let me map all the fields from the source to target here. So see here, same function you can find in the below. So whatever we may created a message mapping and integration flow, the same functions also available here. You can, if you want, you can also create these functions here. So let me save and execute this one. I mean deploy this one. So we have to deploy this one first.
So when we create message mapping internally also, we can download the mapping,
Yes,
right?
we can download and you can upload into the other integration flow. There is no issue. But here, this is for the global message mapping. So you can call this message mapping in any of the integration flow. For example, I have this integration flow, right? So where we can add this, how to call that a message mapping. So see here, if I go to the, for example, I would like to read that message mapping in this one. So here in the resources, we have a references. So this is local. So that means local means this is related to only this integration flow. So see here I had two message mappings here. Underscore node function test, underscore test mapping. So here if I go to the receiver, I mean references, if I edit it, it will ask for some references like and see here add references option. So you can add two references, that is a first one is a script collection, the second one is message mapping. So see message mapping. So what are all the message mapping we have, you can find here. So we just created, right, class 10 underscore, right? Just you can click on OK. So now see what you can, how we can read this message mapping in a message mapping palette option. So see, you can select this message mapping option here. So now in the message mapping option, you can select this one. So select this one. So if I select it, so see here, these are the local references and these are the referenced references. Referenced resources means from a message mapping artifact. So see if I select this, then so if I select this, see here resource, it is showing like this. So see message mapping underscore test. If I select this, it will navigate to the other page. If I want to test this, if I any changes in it, it will navigate to the other page and it will open the artifact page. So just you can create one message mapping and you can refer that message mapping in a multiple integration. Um, yeah, someone is asking any question. The voice is breaking. I'm not sure who is asking that.
Okay, Chandra.
Yeah, Arun.
So in the reference, we can able to see other iflows message mappings also. You mean to say, right?
No. Other, not
Uh-huh.
other iFlow.
And then
So
how
see,
it will be reflect?
yeah, see, here we have to create this message mapping artifact. So that means you might miss that point maybe due to the network issue. So see here, I created a message mapping here, message mapping artifact by using this option.
Oh, okay,
So see here, I
okay,
created this message mapping artifact here. So this is the
okay.
message mapping artifact I created. So this message mapping artifact, you can call in any of the integration flow entire in the CPIT.
First, we need to create one artifact for the message mapping also. That then
Yeah,
only.
message mapping.
Oh,
Yes. So for example, if you see every in every requirements, we will use that Groovy. I mean, some of the most of the requirements, we will use that payload logging, or else reading headers or something else. So that time we have to write and we have to create a script for each and individual integration flow. So that time what you
mm-hmm.
can go for is you can go for a script collection. The script
Okay.
collection you can create one time. One script collection contains a multiple scripts actually. So script
Mm-hmm.
collection and code test. So just you can write one time and you can refer the same script collection into the multiple integration
Mm-hmm.
flows. So this is the script
Okay.
collection. So just I mean saving the time instead of creating a new ones.
Mm-hmm.
See here you can add your script collection here. So see here we can select Groovy script or JavaScript. So see you can give the name for log payload and
Oh.
create. See, this is payload log. So if I click on it, it will show you the whatever the file we have that will be available here.
Mm-hmm.
See, if you want, you can replace this. Whatever the code you require, you can upload here also. So now if I save this, for example, this is you can think this is for a payload log. So if I deploy this, so what you can do is you can go there and you can select the Groovy script option here, the Groovy script option. First, what we have to do is we have to go to the resources and we have to add that references to the resources tab. So see, already previously we added message mapping. Now
Mm-hmm.
we are adding the script collection. So what are
Okay.
all the script collections we have? You can find here. First, you can select it and click on OK. Now it will add a script collection. So
Mm-hmm.
see, once I select this script collection, they have an option to select here. So in that select, so in the referenced resources, we have a log payload. So see, this script collection contains multiple. One script collection might contains multiple resources. So this is for log payload. So if I want, I can add other, I mean like read headers or read data, something we have many scripts inside of it. So see, that will show
Mm-hmm.
you the one script collection contains multiple Groovy scripts. So you can select whatever the script you require, you can select that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So if I select this, so it will select for this Groovy script. So see here, this is the Groovy script. If I want to check this collection object, you cannot edit in the integration flow itself. So it is opening in a new tab. So you can select it and you can edit there. It will reflect for all the integration flows. So for example, if I delete this script collection, it will affect wherever the script collection is referenced, that will affect for all the integration flows. So for example, I am using this script collection for 10 integration flows. If I delete this, the remaining 10 integration flows will be affected due to this script collection. So that is the main disadvantage of this. So if I'm creating individual one, it will affect only for one integration flow. But if I delete the script collection or the message mapping main artifact, it will affect wherever the message is. I mean, wherever the artifact is used, this will affect on all. So here the disadvantages in CPI is we don't have very user list actually. Very user list means, for example, see, I'm using this message mapping, right? For example, I'm using this message mapping for a total 10 to, I mean 10 integration flows. We don't have where user list where this integration flow is using. I mean, like where the message mapping, I mean, this mm underscore test where it is using, we don't have that info. That is the main disadvantage. We don't have where user list. But coming to the PI, if I go any object, we have a where user list. So based on that, you can find what are all the objects are referring this object, like that you can easily find actually. That option we don't have in a CPI.
Chandra, what is user-defined search?
User defined search in a message mapping, right? I mean, like this one. In PI we have user defined search criteria for messages, right? In CPI we don't have actually.
Like for example, when we when we get message, we check with the message ID na for the logs.
Yeah, okay, got it. So for example, the sender is triggering with IDOC data. So based on that IDOC data, we have to search in PI logs or CPI logs, right?
Yes,
Okay, we
in
have
like
that
in
option.
CPI, for example,
In CPI
material
also we
number,
have that option.
the team, yeah,
Yeah, in CPI
instead of
also we
message
have that
ID with
option.
material number, yeah.
Yeah, got it. Ajay. So we have that. So she user defined functions. So use less fields here. So here you can maintain some custom status headers. So custom headers. So based on that headers, you can find this messages ID. So like here you can see SAP application ID. Have to make that one just a second. So we have to create one custom header here. So based on that custom header, you can provide the custom header name and then property. So based on that, you can find that messages here. Or else you can also provide the message ID. So for example, you're saying message material ID, right? So based on that material ID also, you can search here. So based on that, you can find that messages are processed or not. For that configuration, we have to create one specific header here, that is SAP application ID. I hope. Let me check that one. So that is custom built actually. That is not a standard one. That is custom built. So that means we have to implement that scenario in our requirements. So we have some blocks for it. I hope I already configured this. Let me check. Test CVM. So let me check. So I will show you one blog reference. So custom header properties will search for messages. So see here, help properties. Here we have SAP application ID, something we have that option. So see here, this is the sender and this is the PO number 1234 here. So see here, so see they are creating custom header with the PO number here. So after some time, so see they are providing PO number equal to 12345. So wherever the PO number 12345 we have, that messages you can find in the below. So this is the scripting MPL custom header. So there you can find this PO number 12345 12345 here. So like this. So you can go with this block. So that will be easy to understand. Okay. So just we are creating this message get header dot PO number, and we are adding this add custom header property. So this is a custom build. By using Groovy script, we can achieve this.
Okay. What
Yeah.
is batch processing OData, Chandran?
So batch processing means you can process the message. I mean, like For example, see, uh, the OData. So, for example, the sender is OData. So they will create a multiple purchase orders, for example. So every time they are not triggering the messages. So, for example, see, uh, some of the cases, what we'll do is, whenever the PO, I mean like purchase order created, immediately they will trigger message to CPI. Got it? Immediately they will trigger message to the CPI. But coming to the batch processing, so they will store the messages for particular point of time. Like they will store the message up to 24 hours. After 24 hours, it will release all the POs. So that means we will get a n number of POs in a one batch. So that means one batch means all the 50 messages or whatever the message processed from the last 24 hours. For example, 60 message processed, 60 purchase orders processed. That all 60 purchase orders will be triggered to CPA at a time. So that we have to configure how to handle that batch process in PI. I mean in CPI.
Do we
So
do
by
that?
splitting the,
Like
yeah, sorry.
batch processing configuration, do we build that? Like,
That's depend upon the requirement. If the batch processing means, if we are getting all the messages in one structure, we have to split one by one, and we have to so for example, see, we are working for invoice, right? So for example, we are getting invoice, where it is, all invoices in one payload, or multiple invoices in one payload. So we have to, I mean like, see here, we are getting invoices like this, right? So see, if I'm getting the batch like this, uh, see, one invoices payload contains multiple invoices. So see here, I have a two invoices here. So that means I have to split the first invoice and I have to process it. I have to, by using general splitter or else iterating splitter, we can split the message individually and we have to send it to the target system. Or else I am getting multiple messages like this. So I am getting multiple messages one by one like this. Then we can individually process the message without any splitting. So that depends upon the payload how we can process in CPI, and depends upon the, I mean like service also. That depends upon the requirement. We can go forward.
in the splitters, like if you want to send 5 messages, we have 100 invoices, 5 I want to send 5 messages at a time, then
Yeah, that is
we
also
can.
possible. That is also in splitter we have an option, that one you can maintain the count also.
Okay. సో బ్యాచ్ మనం కాన్ఫిగర్ చేస్తామా అది, లేకపోతే
లేదండి,
పేపర్స్?
వాళ్ళే సెండ్ చేస్తారు, వాళ్ళే సెండ్ చేస్తారు. ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ సి, if you have an idea on partner profile configuration, we have an option for when we are triggering the idocs from the sender system. We have an option like send immediately or send as a package in the sense batch processing. So that means all idocs will be triggered in the batch processing. That means package format they will send the idocs. If it is a send immediately option, we select immediately, the data will be triggered to the CPA whenever the order is created at the SAP end. So we have two options. So based on the business requirements, they will, uh, we will configure it. So any other questions from anyone? So it is already 1.5 hours, I hope, nearly.
చంద్ర, మనం జేఎంఎస్ అడాప్టర్ డిస్కస్ చేసినప్పుడు లైక్ వి కాన్ఫిగర్డ్ లైక్ ఇఫ్ సంథింగ్ మెసేజ్ ఇస్ ఫెయిలింగ్ ఎట్ like a connection issue with target system, then a message
Yeah.
will retrieve and retrigger, like
Yes, right.
if something in the same explanation, like we have configured like XML to JSON also. If it fails, there is no if we maintain 60 times also, there is no use of maintaining the 60 times na. So in that case, I don't want to send the uh, ignore that error message. So how do I configure uh, at a time. Like for example, we are getting two messages from the sender system. One is
Okay.
failing with server error. Like after 5 minutes or
Okay.
10 minutes, it will restart, and the message will automatically retrieve once we maintain the JMS. At a time, the second message fails with some value error. So
Okay.
how do we
Yeah, we
configure
have
that?
to, yeah, in exceptions of process, we have to maintain some Groovy script for this. So every message, so for example, see, I'm in sharing that. So see, if I go for any of the failure message here, for example, let me see here. So if I go to the text, open text view, so we have to go for the custom build for that one. So these all are custom built and there is no standard for this. So see here, we have an option like a log level is true, right? So and also we have a, for each and every palette option, we have a successful or failure status. So step ID we have, right, service task 4. So that means service task 4 means, so see here, let me show you that we have to check where the service task, I mean which service task is, I mean like a call activity 9. So here we have a call activity 9, right? So what is the meaning of call activity 9? So here for example we use the content temperature, right? So see, so each palette option had their internal name. So just మనకి ఏంటంటే పైన content enricher or something else we are seeing, right? So here this is the content modifier one. So, but at the back end side, it contains the different names. You see, if I click on it, I mean information, you can find this call activity name. So in Groovy script, we have to configure this call activity is successful or not. So if the call activity is not successful, then you can route that message to the some particular receiver. If the call activity is fails at the target side, so for example, the call activity is false at the service task 4, then you can send it to the different receiver. If the call activity is sending while it is connecting to the target system, so this is end message 2, right? So if it is connecting, not connecting with the target system, then that you can configure, like see here. So see, this is the status we completed. So this is end message 2. The status was completed like this. So if the end message status is not completed, then you can message send a message to the some other receiver. So based on this call activity, so that means palette option internal name, palette option ID, it is successful or not. You can find this is a successful or not by using Groovy script.
Chandra, how much time does it take to learn Groovy script? Like,
It but depends on the requirements, Ajay. So it depends upon the requirements. So these all are custom built actually. So this based on the requirements we will start. I mean we will configuring it. So for example, let me fail this message first. So then I will show you that clear idea. So for example, let me remove the ID here. Let me remove the ID here. Then you can find where the message is. Okay, where are the access policy. Let me remove that access policy. So I'm removing this header now. So that means that there is no header to trigger. Okay, there is no header to find that product ID. So now I deployed this, right. So let's go for the message ID. So you can also find in the message log this message was failed due to this error. So this is failed, right? So if I go for the open text view, you can find the error details here.
So here intermediate error. So see here, last error model step ID. So that means last error model step ID means service task 4. We got an error at a service task 4. So see here, what is the service task 4 here? We cancel it, then you can find the information. So see, it is failing while connecting with the content enrich. So see, based on this error, so see here, based on this last error model step, so this message where it is failing, you can easily find out. If it is in a service task 4, that means, for example, as you said that, just so it is failing at a JSON to XML converter, for example. So if the message is failing at a JSON, for example, you can think this is a JSON to XML converter. So that is a name of this service task 4. So if the data is failing at the service task 4, then you can route the message to the some different user. If the service is connecting with the target, connecting with the end message, then you can send it to the some JMS queue and you can process for retrigger. So based on this last error model step, based on this last error model step ID, you can configure. So see here, it will be available in the headers also. So see here, okay, this is not in uh, trace mode. This last message ID you can find in a headers also. Let me enable trace for this. That header you can access in a Groovy script. So let me enable trace. So from the headers you can find that information. So let me redeploy this. So all about reading headers and then reading properties and changing the body. But we have to think how it will work. So based on the requirements, we have to find some uh, solutions and we have to configure it. That's all. So see, now it is triggered, right? So if I go for the trace for the error message where it is failed, so you can find that details actually. We select this. It is loading, right? So if I select the content enricher, so in the message content enricher, okay, okay, got it. So see here, this is content enricher, it was failed, right? If I call exception sub process, that information you can access in exception sub process. So see internally, if I access the any exception sub process here, that exception sub process had where the last message was failed. So I previously shown you, right, in the message log open text bar. So that message, that information you can find it. So exception sub process will receive that exception details, right? So based on that exception details, you can find and send this information. So last error model step ID. So based on this model step ID, you can process the message to the target, or else we have to notify to something we can configure.
Like in the same XSM process, first message is also like 500 error message is also coming now. That will also suppress.
Sorry.
The first message which is failing due to connection problem, that will also get
Yes.
ignored
See
now.
here. See. Yes. See here. The service task 4 is failing at a content. I mean content enricher configuration. So if it is failing at the 500 server error, so that will fail in a end module. So that means like while connecting with the receiver, it will fail, right? So that end contains a different name actually.
Okay.
Got it, Ajas? So based on that, you can configure. So if the message fails at a last error module step uh, 4, service task 4, then you can ignore that message without retrying. So if the message is failing at the end message set, so see here this is failed, right? So end module And so here you can see this is suppressed here itself. If it is even, it is not calling end message. So that is the reason I'm not able to find here. So and also based on the status also you can see. So in the logs you can also find the status. So here the status you can find failed here. So see, this is if it is failing at a step, I mean service task 4, you can send it to the some receiver. If it is failing at some other task, so like service task instead of service tasks, we have end message, right? So let me check that end message where it is. What is the name of that parent option? Let me check. So see here, this is the end message with the name and event 2. If it is a failing at India event 2, then you can process, I mean reprocess the message to the target. So there is no processing, right? ఇది ఎండ్ మెసేజ్ వరకు వెళ్ళిందంటే ఇక్కడ నాకు ట్రాన్స్ఫర్మేషన్ లాజిక్స్ ఏం లేవు కదండి. సో అన్ని సక్సెస్ఫుల్ అయితేనే కదా ఎండ్ మెసేజ్కి వెళ్ళేది. Then you can transfer that message to the target system again by using JMS keys.
If I want to ignore means should I need to use terminate or end?
Yeah, terminate.
End?
Terminate. Yes, terminate. So you can make something in a. I mean, like in Groovy script only we have to configure everything here. So in
Okay.
Groovy script, for example, in Groovy script, what you have to do is, so if the header, the service task, last message failed letter, for example, the last message failed letter, service task 4, then you can maintain one header as a terminate. So like terminate. So that header you can make a router that you can ignore. If the last message is failed at end event 1, so then you can retry. You can connect with the target system. Like that you can maintain some conditions there. Yeah. So any other questions?
Yeah, Chandra, here, if you want to monitor channel wise, like in PI, how we
No,
can
there is no.
monitor?
There is no option, Ajay, Arun. There is no
Okay.
option to connect with a, I mean like a channel monitoring is not available in CPI. So for example, if I wanted to stop the messages from particular point of a sender or the particular receiver, just you have to undeploy the integration flow. That's all.
Okay, only message level we can do and artifacts level we can do the monitoring, right?
Yes, right. For connect for checking the connectivity, so it is connecting to the system or not, then you can go with the connectivity test.
Yeah, that I understood. So each adapter wise we cannot monitor, you mean to say.
No, Ajay, no, Arun, we don't have that option actually in CPI.
Okay. But if we have multiple, for example, if we have multiple SFTP channels, one SFTP channel got failed, not other one. In that case, then how to identify that particular SFTP channel?
Particular
We need to
SFTP, right? You are saying.
go through iFlow only again. In that case.
Yeah, we have to go through the iFlow only. So why it is failing? That error information you can clearly
Mm-hmm.
get right. So based on that
Okay.
error only, we have to find out.
Okay.
Yeah.
Any other things, Chandra, you will going to cover? It's done already. Everything.
Yeah, for the topics perspective, it is done, Arun. So tomorrow I will explain about how the project will, how we will get the requirements, and what will be the roles and responsibilities for the developer, and what will be the roles and responsibilities for the support team. I mean support
Okay.
developer. So that will I cover tomorrow. So and also the resume, how we will create that. So actually, I thought we can cover today, but we have many questions, right? That's what I mean extending the tomorrow class also.
Okay.
So
Chandra, I have
if
one
you
requirement, Chandra, in CPI. Like they
okay,
asked me to capture the, I mean, it's a synchronous flow. They asked me to capture the request and response to back to the sender again. They expecting both the request and response to the source.
okay,
When we, yeah, is that how we can do that? When
the
we trigger
request,
one message from source.
right? Yeah, that is what is the target system actually?
target system might be some let's see, it's a REST based system API.
Okay, API. So then you can go with this one, right? Content enricher.
Content enricher.
Yeah.
They why is content enricher? I mean, directly we are connecting to the third party, not I mean, in between I'm not again connected to any external system. Directly I'm using one receiver system.
Yeah, here
I
also we are using only one receiver, right?
uh-huh. Okay, that way we can you I mean you want to use combine option, huh? I mean,
Yes, combine option. Yes.
hmm
You
request
can use
reply will not
combine
work
option.
in that way.
Yeah, request reply will what we have to do? We have to store that
In a properties
uh,
level or a header level.
yes, property level and header level. Again, we have to use content modifier after the request reply,
Uh-huh.
and we have to content. I mean, we can place that body expression, and we can place
Uh,
that property expression in a message
uh,
body. Then the both will combine, and it will send to the center.
okay, that way we can do using request reply, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
By using standard
If not,
options, go with
uh,
the content enricher. Or else you can
okay,
store this message in a temporary properties or headers. Then you can access it after the request reply.
okay, yeah,
So that depends upon our thinking, Arun. So
okay,
if I wanted to go with the only standard option, then you can go with the content enricher. So if I wanted to
mm,
go with the, I mean like my knowledge, based on my knowledge, so if I want to go with the standard options, you can go with the content enricher, or else you can go with the
okay,
request reply and store in the temporary properties, and you can access after the request reply. That request message you can combine by using content enricher. I mean content modifier.
okay, okay. Yeah, got it.
Yeah.
Chandra, how many
So
types
that's
of authentications are there, like authorization?
yeah, authorizations we have like a base authentication and a OAuth authentication also.
What is then a CSRF token?
Yeah, that is
That is
a
also,
CSRF. Like how we configure CSRF, right? I explained, right? CSRF.
yes, yes.
We are fetching the data. I mean, we are fetching the username. I mean, like a CSRF token in the headers, and we are passing to the headers, right? The
No,
same
no.
way, OData also.
Okay. No, I mean to ask like when do we use authentication and base authentication?
That's depend upon target system, Ajas. So, for example, if you see the target system will only support OAuth authentication.
Okay. All the
Got it?
target
It will
systems?
support. Yeah, not only all the target systems. So, for example, you are connecting with one third-party systems. They will accept only this OAuth authentication.
Okay.
If they are accepting only the OAuth authentication, then you will configure that OAuth authentication.
Only
If
at
they are
receiver
not
side.
using, yeah, only at receiver side, mostly at the receiver side only.
Okay. How about sender
So
side?
sender side, we will not configure. So mostly we will use only the base authentication because we are providing the service to the target, right? I mean, we are providing the service to the sender system. So, but coming to the success factors case, we are pulling the data from the senders. I mean, success factors. That time we will OAuth authentication at the sender side. So that configuration and receiver configuration will be the same at the success factors level.
Okay. So only we have two types of authentications. One is base and one is auth
Base
authentication.
authentication and then this one OAuth authentication, and also we have certificate authentication also. So we have uploaded the TLS certificates, right? The same certificates will be provided by the target system. So that will be uploaded in our e-stores. Then you can use, I mean, browse that certificate in our channel level.
Okay. For sender system, we will provide the certificate.
Yeah, they will download the certificate once we provide the endpoint URL to connect with the SAP system.
SAP CPI system, they will download the certificate. How we download it for third party systems, right, from the Google Chrome, the same way they
Yes.
will download.
Yes.
Yeah. If they don't have knowledge, then we have to guide them.
Okay.
So you can
Chandra,
list
like,
out other. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. Yes.
yeah, please proceed.
Yeah, you can list out any questions. So like tomorrow also we have session. So you can list out any of the questions. So based on that we can discuss tomorrow also. No issue.
Okay, yeah, tomorrow is the last session, or how is that? How many sessions are
Yeah,
there?
yeah. So tomorrow is the last session. So we already completed all the topics. So tomorrow we'll explain about that uh, that
Project.
project landscape. Like what are the responsibilities of developer and what are the responsibility of the support developer. So after that I will explain about how we can prepare the resume and what are all the projects you can place like that.
Yes, Chandra, like mainly in the interviews, like facing question like in the in my point of view, in the course, you have explained all the palette options, all the configurations, and all the senders and receiver systems and adapters. But
Yeah,
it is like individual, individually. I have gathered, learned. Na? So while coming to the questionnaire sections, they are asking combination, what logic or steps do you perform for this requirement on real time requirement base uh, steps they are asking, one point. And the second point is they are mostly asking about the Groovy scripts. uh, so Groovy script I need to learn separately. I can understand that. uh, but for tomorrow when you're explaining private landscape, one scenario you can explain uh, what palette options in sequence uh, we can build
yeah, yeah,
that
sure,
way.
yes, I will explain that also. Yeah, I will keep it in mind and I will explain that one also.
Yeah. Also suggest some packages, Chandra, so that I can prepare and explain them in the interviews.
Yeah, yes, okay. Yeah, yeah, sure, sure. Select some simple one, Ajas, from your end only.
No,
So you
it is
already know
getting
about
some
all palette options.
confusion.
No, no confusion, Ajas. So let keep in mind, so you already know most of 95% of the palette options. You already know, right?
Yes.
So the sender adapter configuration also, you know, receiver adapter configuration also, you know, and you know the externalized parameters also. Why you are confusing? I'm not sure. So just go with
Here, for
yeah.
example, my confusion is if I am using OData for the sender, what exactly the receiver system adapter will be, uh,
So
on
that
what
there is already
combinations?
one thing is right. There is no combination. I just there is no dependency from the sender adapter to the receiver adapter. So whatever, for example, if you are using OData adapter at the sender side, the receiver might be any of the adapter. So there is no dependency from the sender and receiver adapter. So that means నేను sender side OData use చేస్తే target side కూడా OData use చేయాలి అన్న dependency లేదు. So you can use any type of adapter.
Okay.
సో ద డిపెండెన్సీ అనేది ఉండదండి. సో ఇప్పుడు నేను సెంటర్ ఎస్ఎఫ్టిపి యూస్ చేయొచ్చు, టార్గెట్ రెస్ట్ యూస్ చేసుకోవచ్చు, బట్ ఇట్ విల్ నాట్ సపోర్ట్ సింకర్నస్ బికాస్ సెండర్ ఈజ్ అన్ ఎస్ఎఫ్టిపి సర్వర్. ఎస్ఎఫ్టిపి విల్ నాట్ సపోర్ట్ సింకర్నస్. సో దట్ ఈస్ ద రీజన్ వీ కెన్ కనెక్ట్ విత్ ద టార్గెట్ సర్వీస్ అండ్ టార్గెట్స్ లో జస్ట్ డేటా పోస్ట్ చేసి వీ కెన్ ఇగ్నోర్ ద రెస్పాన్స్. దెర్ ఈస్ నో రెస్పాన్స్, వీఆర్ టేకింగ్ బ్యాక్ టు ద ఎస్ఎఫ్టిపి సర్వర్ ఎట్ ద సెంటర్ సైడ్. దట్స్ ఆల్. సో మనకి డిపెండెన్సీ అనేది ఉండదండి, కాకపోతే ఏంటంటే సింకర్నస్ అసింకర్నస్ కి మనకి ఇష్యూస్ వస్తాయి. దట్స్ ఆల్. రిమైనింగ్ ఆల్ సేమ్. ఒకసారి చూడండి అండి అజయ్ సార్, నెక్స్ట్ సింపుల్ గా సో సమ్ నాకు తెలిసి C2C ఇంటర్ఫేసెస్ ఉంటాయండి. లైక్ C2C మీ C2C ఇంటర్ఫేసెస్ ఉంటాయి. సో ఆ C2C ఇంటర్ఫేసెస్ ని నేను ఎక్స్ప్లెయిన్ చేస్తాను రేపు. సో మీన్ వైల్ మీకు కూడా ఏదన్నా ప్యాకేజ్ ఈజీగా ఉందనుకుంటే యూ కెన్ ఆల్సో గో విత్ దట్ ప్యాకేజెస్.
Yes. Mainly S/4HANA to ECC system or S/4HANA to third party system. అంటే like I have worked on that way.
Okay. Yeah, sure, and I will keep it in mind. So I will explain along with that business example. Okay.
Yeah, thanks a lot.
Yeah, no problem, no problem. Yeah, going forward, so once you are facing some interviews, yes, go slowly. You will also pick up. Uh, so you might. So they had some, for example, see, right now the interviewers are thinking like if they had a 20 years of experience, even they are asking the same questions for a 10 years experience guy and 3 years experience guy and 4 years experience guy, like that only. So they have to think how many years of experience of the by the person. So who are attending the interview, they have to think how many years of experience they had. సో వాళ్ళు ఏంటంటే
Yes.
20 ఇయర్స్ ఎక్స్పీరియన్స్ నాకుంది కదా అని చెప్పి సేమ్ క్వశ్చన్స్ 3 ఇయర్స్ ఎక్స్పీరియన్స్ ఉన్న వాళ్ళకి వేస్తే దే కెనాట్ ఆన్సర్ రైట్. సో దట్ ఈస్ ద
Yes.
మెయిన్ ఇష్యూ రైట్ నౌ. సో దట్ ఈస్
Yeah.
ద మెయిన్ ఇష్యూ. అండ్ ఆల్సో నేను మీకు సజెస్ట్ చేశాను కదండి లాస్ట్ టైం. సో ఇఫ్ యూ ఆర్ గుడ్ ఇన్ జావా స్క్రిప్ట్, ఐ మీన్ ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ యూ ప్రీవియస్లీ వర్క్డ్ ఆన్ జావా బ్యాక్గ్రౌండ్, నవ్ యూ ఆర్ మూవ్ టు ఇంటిగ్రేషన్ లేయర్. సో మీరేం చేస్తారు, మీకేమో జావా వచ్చు కదా అని చెప్పి గ్రూవీ కూడా మీకు సింపుల్ అని చెప్పి యూ విల్ వాట్ ఎవర్ ద రిక్వైర్మెంట్ యూ విల్ గో విత్ ద గ్రూవీ స్క్రిప్ట్. So the junior came to the picture. They don't know about the JavaScript. I mean Groovy script. He had only basic knowledge, but they don't have a complete knowledge on the Groovy script. So what they will do is they will suggest the juniors also go with the Groovy script. Even we have a standard option also. They are suggesting to go with the Groovy script. So that is the problem success with the experienced persons in the real time.
Yes.
So based on my knowledge, first go with the standard options, whatever we have in CPI. If the standard options is not working for our requirement, then go with the custom. So that is the best approach. Even for example, you created a Groovy script and it is not working for your requirement. So if you reach to SAP simply say that we already have this standard option, right? Why we are going for Groovy script? సింపుల్గా క్వశ్చన్ వేసి వదిలేస్తారండి. ఎస్ఐపికి ఒకవేళ మీరు ఎస్ఐపి టికెట్ రైస్ చేసి రిక్వైర్మెంట్ నాకు వర్క్ అవట్లేదు త్రూ గ్రూవీ స్క్రిప్ట్ అంటే, సో మీకు ఆల్రెడీ ఆప్షన్ ఉండగా వై యూఆర్ గోయింగ్ ఫర్ గ్రూవీ స్క్రిప్ట్ అంటారు. అప్పుడు ఏం చెప్తారు ఆన్సర్ మీరు? సో దట్ ఈస్ ద రీజన్ గో విత్ ద స్టాండర్డ్ ఆప్షన్స్ అండ్ దెన్ గో విత్ ద గ్రూవీ స్క్రిప్ట్. యా,
కొన్ని స్టాండర్డ్ ఆప్షన్స్ ని కూడా గ్రూవీ స్క్రిప్ట్ లోనే అడుగుతున్నారు.
అదే అండి. అప్పుడు మీరు వాళ్ళని కన్వే చేయాలి. సో యూ హ్యావ్ టు కన్వే దెమ్. సో వీ హ్యావ్ ఎ స్టాండర్డ్ ఆప్షన్. సో మీరు అలా అడిగితే ఏంటంటే, so you have to convey them like we have a standard option, no need of going to Groovy script here, we have a standard palette option, right? Why we require to go for Groovy script? So like that we have to tell
Yes.
them on a stronger chip, they will agree definitely.
Yeah.
సో మనం ఏమనుకుంటాం అంటే మళ్ళీ వాళ్ళు ఏమైనా అనుకుంటారని చెప్పి అలా ఉండకూడదండి ఇంటర్వ్యూ. సో వీ హ్యావ్ టు వై వీ హ్యావ్ ఆల్రెడీ స్టాండర్డ్ ఆప్షన్, రైట్? వై వీ గో ఫర్ I mean custom one. The Groovy is custom one, right? So we don't need a Groovy here, so we can go with this parrot option. Like that you can connect. I hope it is done. So you can list out any questions from your end. So tomorrow also we can discuss, no issue. If it is an extended 1 hour also no issue. So we can connect and tomorrow we can discuss about
Chandra,
it. Okay.
one small query.
Yeah.
Is it, I
Yeah.
mean, for all our requirements, the Groovy scripts will be available on Google, or else is it to take separate training for the Groovy script to understand better?
Based on my knowledge, Arun, so whatever the projects right now involving that already available in the Google. So
Okay.
but so most of the requirements we already available in Google. Some, and also we have a blocks, right? Multiple blocks in SAP blocks.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So that also you can find the many references, but establish the good knowledge on how to edit the Groovy scripts first. So మీరు ఫస్ట్ డైరెక్ట్ గా గ్రూవీ స్క్రిప్ట్స్ రాయటం నేర్చుకోవద్దండి. సో బట్ ఫస్ట్ మీరు గ్రూవీ స్క్రిప్ట్స్ ని, ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ వీ హ్యావ్ ఆల్రెడీ సమ్ రిఫరెన్స్ ఫ్రమ్ గూగుల్. సో ఆ గ్రూవీ స్క్రిప్ట్ ని సమ్ చేంజెస్ చేసి మీ రిక్వైర్మెంట్ కి దాన్ని కన్వర్ట్ చేసుకోగలిగితే స్లోలీ యూ కెన్ ఇంప్రూవ్ యువర్ గ్రూవీ స్క్రిప్ట్. slowly you
Okay.
can improve your groovy script knowledge. సో ఏంటంటే ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ వాళ్ళు పేలోడ్ లాగింగ్ కి డేటా ఇచ్చారండి, ఐ మీన్ ఇది ఇచ్చారు, ఐ మీన్ కోడ్ ఇచ్చారు. సో దాంట్లో అటాచ్మెంట్ నేమ్ మెసేజ్ హ్యాష్ 1 అని ఉంది. సో మీరు అటాచ్మెంట్ నేమ్ ని మెసేజ్ హ్యాష్ 1 నుంచి అటాచ్మెంట్ అని చెప్పి మార్చుకోవాలి. సో హౌ వీ కెన్ చేంజ్ ఇట్ ఇన్ ద గ్రూవీ స్క్రిప్ట్. అసలు ఎక్కడ ఆ అటాచ్మెంట్ నేమ్ క్రియేట్ అవుతుందని మీరు ఫైండ్ అవుట్ చేశారనుకోండి. సో స్లోలీ వాట్ ఈస్ ద స్టెప్స్ ఇంటర్నల్లీ గోయింగ్. So that's good. Like that, you can change small things. So based on that, you can learn easily. So
Okay.
మళ్ళీ గ్రూప్ నేర్చుకోవాలంటే అదో సపరేట్ కోర్స్ అయిపోతుంది, 65 hours. So like Java, how we learn, we have to learn Groovy also. So that is I hope based on my experience we will get a only, for example, if you are working 10 interfaces, we will get a one interface, we will get a Groovy requirement. So remaining all will be done by the standard options only.
Okay.
Yeah. So I hope clear, right? So list out, if you have any queries, you can list out for tomorrow. We can discuss tomorrow. Okay. Thank you everyone. Thanks for your time. Bye.
Yeah, thank you.